The Foothills Trail from Canebrake A6 to Laurel Fork Falls A5 is approximately 5.8 miles. It takes you through a dense, temperate rainforest terrain, and the highlights of the section include the scenic Toxaway River, Toxaway River Suspension Bridge, Heartbreak Ridge, scenic views of Lake Jocassee, and deep gorges. Right past that sign, you got a little campsite right here.
I'm not afraid.
0.1 miles. Come across another bridge over a small creek. So while the Foothills Trail takes you very close to the shores of Lake Jocassee, it doesn't take you on the shores of Lake Jocassee. So if you want to go see it, you do have to bushwhack just a tiny bit to go see it. At least in the summer months, you might have to bushwhack. In the winter, you might be able to just walk across. But the trail is pretty flat here. We should be coming up soon to the Toxaway River Suspension Bridge, and then the campsite on the other side. Oh, at about 0.5 miles, you got another bridge and a series of steps up to the largest suspension bridge on the Foothills Trail, 225 feet over the Toxaway River. All right, guys, 0.6 miles. Across a little bridge right before the big suspension bridge. It's a bit of a climb. A lot of rooty here in this section. The bridge here is kind of broken. And there it is. Suspension bridge. It shakes. Some kayakers down there. Trail comes to this intersection and goes over another suspension bridge. There's several campsites here, and we're gonna call this one home for lunch. Just no shortage of campsites here. All right, guys, so I'm at the Toxaway River designated campsite. They have 8 elevated campsites with a fire ring and a nice picnic table, so it's a really nice campsite. I wanted to talk a little bit about this area again, about the history. So in 1753, the British built a fort directly across the capital of the Lower Cherokee Nation, Keowee Town, ostensibly to manage trade, but also to monitor the Cherokee. Tensions, as you can imagine, broke out between the two. Both betrayed each other, both murdered each other. And eventually a war broke out between the two, Anglo-Cherokee War from 1759 to 1761. And this was really part of the larger 7 Years' War between France and its allies and Britain and its allies. To me, this is the first real world war, as it was fought over multiple continents all over the place. So this Anglo-Cherokee War was part of that big, larger French and Indian War, 7 Years' War. The Cherokee Nation was a confederacy of tribes, so some tribes within the nation favored Britain, others favored France, so that led to a lot of confusion as well. Eventually, due to alleged theft of a horse, a Virginia militia came down and massacred a town and killed about 30 to 40 people in a tribe, natives in a tribe, and scalped them. Because, you know, that's what you do over a horse. Then the native tribes retaliated, and there was a series of retaliations back and forth. Eventually, the South Carolina governor, William Henry, embargoed all gunpowder to the Cherokee Nation and asked for the British Army to come, and they sent 1,100 men here. And while the British Army was initially successful, eventually the Cherokee won a major battle, and that seemed to be that for a while. The British, not wanting to lose, decided to send a bigger army. During this time, the Cherokee did try to send a delegation of 38 chiefs to negotiate a peace. The British captured him and held him hostage in Fort Prince George, which was right across the town. So that's a little bit of the history of this place. And additionally, I wanted to talk a little bit about the history after the Revolution. Obviously, after the American Revolution, the Americans were very keen on Cherokee lands. They forced 2 treaties, the Treaty of Hopewell and later the Treaty of 1816, which pretty much forced all Cherokee from their lands and allowed for white settlements like John L. Cantrell. So while the villages are gone and underwater, the names of the places you pass on the Foothills Trail still exist. Keowee, Toxaway, Eastatoe, all are part phonetic spellings and phonetic sayings of Cherokee. Beautiful little lake. So pretty soon we start the climb of Heartbreak Ridge. At about 1.1, you come to yet another bridge. And here it is. Beginning of Heartbreak Ridge.
Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top. Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly,
one of those stairs right there is loose.
Never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch. Always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality is tragedy, bro. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide.
You need a break?
Move forward like soldiers, you better
Thank you.
wake up for the pay stub or you'll pay up. Don't make love to the game, bruh. Fuck the game up. Change up, rearrange stuff to your greatness. Famous for the way up. Play the game, bruh. Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise.
Look at the picture. It's straight up. 0.7 miles.
I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah. You know I'm always honest. There ain't no way I'm ever stopping. I won't quit, keep going. I won't give up till I'm on top. I'm always flirting with pain, she like to hurt me and maim. I'm always working to change, but she's still lurking the same. I keep on building a dynasty while the haters be trying me, but they hate from inside. You see, hate themselves in society, so I let them speak quietly while my actions speak wider. See, they be hiding in privacy with the screen. Oh, the irony to hate someone who's trying to be whatever they would like to be. We all feel the anxiety, we make our own rivalries. Yo,
there's the bench right here.
I feel like we all just hate on everything, is killing me.
I don't think we made it to the top yet. Maybe halfway.
Work hard under pressure. If you got no time, work smarter than ever. Don't ever let them tell you that you can't ever say never, and turn your mind into the truest of go-getters. Never stop, I'll get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah. You know I'm always honest. There ain't no way I'll never stop it. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top, yeah.
So it was about 320 steps to the top. These beautiful gorge rhododendron flowers. How pretty. Looks like we're climbing a little bit more. Oh, more steps, fun times. Now we start the descent. Long stairs on the other side. All right, over now. All right, guys, at 1.9, trail has a switchback. I sound off of Heartbreak Ridge is really pretty through this area. And another bridge, Rock Creek. Trail has another campsite right here. Go right through it. So you have blue markers for the water. Not seeing red markers for beer cables, but plenty of campsite spots here. So Rock Creek, there's a series of campsites. There's at least 4, maybe 5. And there is water and there's a bear hang as well. At 2.2 miles. The trail, if you look off to your right, you'll see the east edge of Lake Jocassee. Though this time of year, it's kind of hard to see it in some places. Yeah, there's a good view. .3 at about 2.5, the trail joins this old roadbed and continues on it uphill for a while. It definitely has some steep sections. I got breathing hard, but once you join the roadbed, it's a little easier. At about 2.7, 2.8, the trail comes to this bend. You'll see double blaze on the trees to your left. And a sign here, up some stairs at 2.8 or 2.9. Make it to the climb. Join an old roadbed, and you'll see the sign here. And blaze off to your left. And join an old roadbed here. The level's off, at least for a little bit. At about 3 miles, come to the side, Foothills Trail. Takes a hard right-hand turn. Begins going down another dirt road. It's about 3.8 miles into the section. The trail just continues a gradual climb on an old roadbed. Now it's leveled up just a bit. See a lot of cut down trees from all the maintenance from those winter storms this year. It closed the trail for a nice sec. At 3.9, come to this iron gate, double blaze. Trail goes off the road and down the trail. About 4.1, the trail just follows along in the woods. I think that's Schoolhouse Road, according to the guide. At about 4.6, you cross Schoolhouse Road, and it goes off up here. 4.7, come to this iron gate. Trail just goes around it. Alright, so at 5 miles, quote unquote, ridge walk ends, and you begin the descent down. So there's no views on that ridge walk. The last 3.5 miles have been pretty boring. I hate to say it, because I want to love the Foothills Trail, and I do love it. Not so much this section. Just a lot of road walking. Not a whole lot to see. Gas at 3.7. Trail continues down to the end of the section. Probably about 0.2, maybe 0.3 miles away to the beginning of the next section. For just over 5.9 miles, you come to the boat access Lower Fork Falls section. So you take this spur trail if you want to go to the boat access. The trail continues up that way.